So this is a 2019 Swift Solitaire 560, going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. This is all stuff we'll go through in person here on site. On the bulkhead of the caravan you've got the gas regulator. It's actually a changeover valve on this particular van, so if you've got one gas pipe connected on this side and a second connected on this side and connected to the bottles, you can actually change over the gas supply. So when you've got this arrow pointing at the side that you want to use the gas from, you'll be able to run the gas from either bottle. On the side of the van, you've got your wind down legs and your gas, your heating and hot water flow for the heating and hot water system. You then have your water pump connection that very simply pushes into the side of the van when you pull the blue tab back, and it will lock into place with the little locks on the bottom of it. You've got your battery box and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. So the mains power lead obviously connected to the mains on site, and then your 12 volt battery would be in the box here with the two connectors on top. You've got your fridge vents, so the top two fridge vents here are to allow the heat out the back of the fridge unit, and also behind one of these there is a gas flue for the gas operation of the fridge. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll talk the wheel nuts while you're here on site to the recommended manufacturer setting, and then we'll also demonstrate the motor mover so you can see it is all working as it should. On the outside of the van here you have your toilet flush tank, which takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And then you've got your toilet waste cassette below, which you release with the orange handle. The neck here turns out to allow the waste to be tipped away. And then on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use the cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in and a cap full of the blue fluid. The fresh water that goes in the front of the van through the sink and the showers has to come out somewhere, and that's these two grey pipes just here that you see next to the toilet cassette door, or below the toilet cassette door to the left hand side. And you'll have your 2 bits of grey pipe that go in the larger diameter circles on that fitment, and then you'll be able to run them into your waste master. On the back of the van on either side you've got your wind down legs, as you can see here, and they are just there to stabilise the caravan while the van is on site. You would never lift the caravan with the wind down legs. 230 power socket, so you've got power coming out to your awning, as you can see here. You've got your telly bracket in here, so swing out telly bracket. You've got storage for underneath the front seating, and your barbecue gas point at the front left hand side of the van. And also you've got your other wind down leg below that. Going inside of the van now. Very simple to use, this caravan, even with what looks like a difficult control panel above the door. So on the control panel just here, you've got your main power on and off. So you turn the power on, we'll go into the main screen, and this is what your home screen will look like on your control panel. So you've got internal temperature for the caravan, you've got the water percentage, internal temperature of the caravan, not sure why it's coming up 125 degrees, I'm not quite sure on that. Date, your time, which is slightly out, so I'll reset that in a moment. You've got your water pump run, your awning light for the outside of the caravan, your internal lighting on and off, your power supply coming into the caravan, so it gives you your leisure battery voltage. Oh, let's turn that back to where it should be. And then your solar panel and your vehicle power, so if you're connected to the car, for instance, you'll be able to use the vehicle to charge the battery on board the van. You've got some extra settings in here, which we advise you read the manual for, and you've got your radio down here, which you simply turn on through the control panel here. So you've got, I can't remember 100% how these work. Don't get many of them come through at the moment, the newer control panels. I'll check on the operation of that and let you know when you're here on site. So the first thing we're going to do is fill the water system on board the caravan. So below the seat on the right hand side at the front of the van, you're actually going to see you have a yellow drain down valve. Now that yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor as it is at the moment, and when that valve is parallel with the floor you'll be able to fill the water system on board the van. If it's upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water off the onboard system, and then you'd have to refill the system up by bleeding it in the proper way. To bleed the water system you very simply need to come over to each tap in the caravan, open them all up on the hot side. As you can see, I've already filled the water system, but you'd open them all up on the hot side, and leave them open while you're bleeding the system. So again, tap open as you can see, and again with the shower all working as it should. But you'd open all those taps up, leave them open, come over to the control panel above the door, and you turn the water pump on so it illuminates blue around the outside of the square, indicating the water pump. At that point, the water will start pulling up from the aqua roll on the outside of the van, and when the water system's full, you'll have water, as you'd expect, running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. Once that water's running continuously out of every tap, you can shut all of the taps off, and then you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So on this control panel to the left here, the Audi control panel, you can press the menu button just here, and you can control the room temperature, so the heating temperature, by going plus or minus. Below that, you've got your water temperature, so you've got water off when this bar is completely empty. You've got what they call normal water temperature, so that's like sort of your washing up temperature, for instance. And then if I press the button again, so this bar goes completely black, it'll actually allow the boost system to kick in for the Audi hot water controls. Just going to leave that on normal for now. Below that, you've got the amount of power that's coming into the caravan from the site you're on. So you've either got 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts you can run this control panel on, or the heating and hot water system on. Now, depending on the amount of power you've got coming into the caravan will depend on the power you set that to. So the best way of finding out is the power you've got coming into the van is asking the site office, should I say, how much power you can use on your control panel. If you want to use gas as a power source, you can also use gas. So you can press gas here. As long as the gas bottle is connected, that will self-ignite. And as long as the gas bottle is turned on, obviously, it will self-ignite. If it did ever fail to ignite, it'd come up with an exclamation mark on either side of the bottom of this screen, and it'd come up with gas fail at the bottom. In here, you have got some extra options, as you can see, but for those, we advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, because if I went through all of those in the video, it'd probably take me 2 to 3 hours to complete it. Next up, we're going to go to the control panel for the fridge. So you've got your power on and off just here. I'm just going to turn the power off first. To turn the fridge on, press and hold, and the fridge will kick in. At the moment, we're on mains power, and you can control the temperature on mains or gas on the button on the right hand side. You can use the arrows. Auto will always go to 240 mains. 12 volt is when you're towing along, so you can use the fridge as a cool box. So essentially, if you're connected to a car at the front of the caravan, you'll be able to use the fridge to get the beers and wine nice and cold before you arrive on site. Come across again, you've got your gas option, and again the blue light below it is actually a pilot light for the gas system, so a bit like when it was flashing for the 12 volt mode to let me know there was nothing connected, it will actually do the same for the gas when it fails to ignite. So you'll let the system ignite, the blue light is your pilot light, and like I said, if it's flashing, it is a fail warning light. Again, on gas, you control the temperature of the fridge on the thermometer button on the right hand side below the arrows. If you're on 12 volt mode, you won't be able to control the temperatures of the fridge because it is just a cool box at that point rather than a fridge. Microwave works like your standard microwave. Just going to show you that working so you can see everything's working as it should. Not quite sure how you use this one. Quick start, there we go. But that's all coming on as you'd expect. Cooker, or hob, sorry, should I say. 240 get electric ring at the back, 3 gas rings, gas grill and gas oven. Work very much the same way as your household one. Igniter on the front and gas controls across the front also. Glass lid, you'll never ever shut that down until these 4 hobs on top are completely cold, because it could potentially smash this glass lid with the heat as it is a tempered glass. The last thing we're going to go through on board this caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. Toilet system, you have an electric flush on top of the toilet. You have a full indicator light for the toilet waste cassette that is underneath the caravan. The toilet turns for your convenience. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure it is pointing straight across the caravan, as you can see at the moment. If it isn't in this position, it'll actually stop you from removing the cassettes from underneath the van, just due to the fact it has 2 lockout tabs, so the cassette can't be removed while the toilet is being used. Underneath the toilet you have this grey handle here that you push open across to one side to allow the toilet waste to go in. So when it's open in the position here, the toilet waste will go straight down in the cassette underneath the van. If you ever get any issues with anything on board these caravans, please do or on board the caravan, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business. We look forward to seeing you here for your handover. But for now, thank you very much and bye-bye.